Hello everyone. The topic for this video is periodic properties. We'll start this topic by seeing its history. Firstly, in 1669, German merchant and amateur alchemist named Henning Brand first discovered phosphorus, and then in 1869, Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev started the development of periodic table, arranging chemical elements by atomic mass. He predicted the discovery of other elements and left spaces open in his periodic table for them. You might have heard about Mendeleev in your 10th or 12th standards. So he was so smart enough that he left some spaces in his periodic table for other scientists to discover the element and add them there. Next, in 1886, French physicist Antoine Becquerel first discovered radioactivity. In 1897, English physicist J.J. Thomson first discovered electrons. In 1903, Rutherford announced that radioactivity is caused by breakdown of atoms. In 1913, Bohr discovered that electrons move around a nucleus in discrete energy called orbitals. Radiation is emitted during movement from one orbital to another. In simple words, Bohr discovered that electrons are situated in orbitals and they emit energy when they are shifted from one orbital to another. And in 1945, Glenn Seaborg identified lanthanides and actinides, which are generally below the periodic table. And so on, there were many discoveries made by the scientists. So let's have a look at periodic properties. First, effective nuclear charge, the attractive positive charge of nuclear protons acting on valence electrons. Second, penetration of orbital. Penetration describes the proximity of electron in an orbital to the nucleus. That is, it refers to how effectively electrons can get close to the nucleus. Third, variation of sp_d and f orbital energies. The energies of sp_d and f orbitals are related as s less than p less than d less than f. It is only true for given value of principal quantum number. Third, electronic configuration. The electron configuration is the distribution of electrons of an atom or molecule in atomic or molecular orbitals. Third, atomic and ionic size. These are distances away from the nucleus or central atom that have different periodic trends. Atomic size is the distance away from the nucleus. Atomic size increases from top to bottom and decreases going across the periodic table. Ionic radius is the distance away from the central atom. Next, ionization energies. Ionization energy is the minimum amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron of an isolated neutral gaseous atom or molecule. Next, electron negativity and electron affinity. Electron negativity is defined as chemical property which decides the propensity of an atom to attract an electron. Electron affinity is defined as the amount of energy liberated when a molecule or neutral atom acquires an electron from outside. Polarizability. It is the relative tendency of a charge distribution like the electron cloud of an atom or molecule to be distorted from its normal shape by an external electric field. Oxidation states. It helps us to determine which compound is being reduced and which compound is being oxidized during the oxidation reaction. Coordination compound. The total number of points of attachment to the central atom is termed as the coordination number. So let's see a real life example. The example is refrigerator or AC gas. One of the gas used in refrigeration is 111 tetrafluoroethane. So you might be thinking, what is the role of periodic properties in this? The role of periodic properties is to help predict the type of chemical reaction that a particular element is likely to participate in, which in turns define the properties of the element. So, before getting into details, let me explain you the refrigeration cycle. In refrigeration cycle, the gas exists in two phases. One is liquid and one is gas. Whenever a gas is decompressed, temperature decreases, and whenever gas is compressed, temperature increases. This is the whole refrigeration cycle. For example, in triple one two tetrafluoroethane, fluorine replaces hydrogen in ethane and it has high electronegativity which forms strong covalent bond with ethane, hence it is not easy to break, which leads to no ozone damage. Next, in the gas is suitable because it is non-flammable, non-toxic, does not deplete the ozone layer and has 100 years of global warming potential. which means after 100 years this gas might harm the ozone, but before 100 years there is no possibility of it to harm the ozone layer. So these all things make up a characteristics of an ideal gas. So you can check around your surroundings that you may find many things that are determined on the basis of periodic properties. You can refer these websites for the content that I have derived from. Thank you.